Oh, so that's why she saw her own grave. It's, well, it's sort of a Soe from a different timeline, and it is, but it's the same her. The future her married Taesul, died in the present time, and then her future self sees herself. So it's the same. It's not like a different type of universe thing. Wow, that's definitely Sigma. I mean, with the painting, the explosion, and the fact that he just said, I'm gonna kill everyone. Wow. So it's not Jason. I'm glad it's not. Wow, you have got to be kidding me. First off, I'm glad that Jason is not Sigma, because if it was, it would have been too obvious. And when you're watching a drama, you don't want to predict something and then ruin it for yourself for the entire ride. I'm glad he's not Sigma. So Sigma was pretty much a different character that we haven't seen yet, and he was from Taesul's childhood. So that's why we didn't know who he was. But before I get to that part, let's talk about beginning to end, the highlights. So at the beginning of the episode, we got a flash forward scene of Soe trying to get to the uploader. And just seeing the destruction of the city, I cannot get enough of that. It looks amazing. The people behind in creating what looks like an apocalypse city, they did an amazing job. And we all know that it is CG, but they did an amazing job making it look so real. So props to everyone behind the scenes for creating that. So Soe is trying to get to the uploader. There's one funny scene that I have to call out on, and it was when she tripped and fell and rolled down the hill. And when she stopped rolling, if you look in the background, it looks nothing like the location where she rolled. It's just a little funny moment. I'll let it slide only because it's just a small little detail. It's not that big of a deal. But because this drama is just amazing and each episode has surprised me in a certain way, I'm gonna let it slide. So as she was trying to get to the uploader, she ends up in a sandy place where I think a bomb dropped. And I think that's a sandy place that was in the dream timeline where Taesul and Soe was in the last episode. So she's there, a sandstorm was coming, and she got trapped in the sand. Thanks to her dad, she got saved. And her dad really, really is against her of trying to get to the uploader because he doesn't want her to suffer, and I can't blame him for that. So in the end, he was like, okay, fine, let's get to the uploader. But then as they were getting to the uploader, they were being followed. They found out that those scavengers were following them, and they hid. And as they were hiding, they saw another person pointing a gun at them, and he was saying, state your name. You're going to the uploader? To save who? And Soe answered both of those questions. Come to find out, it's Taesul's bodyguard. He's alive. The last time we saw him, he was laid on the floor, well, on stage on the floor, just unconscious. And I thought he was dead. And I remember I said it that, oh man, I hope he's not dead. And he's not. And what's crazy is that he remembers the event that happened during that conference of Soe coming in saying, duck, duck, get out the way, him being shot. And he says to her, so it was you, meaning that the event has already happened, but it hasn't happened for Soe yet. And then now we're at the present time. So Taesul asks CEO Park the truth on what happened to Taesan. Now, hold up, I wrote this down. So he said that Taesan was tortured by Sigma. Sigma took his keys. Then Agnes was trying to smuggle him out, away from Sigma. But what happened was that CEO Park took Taesan, tried to make a deal with him in, I'm going to protect your brother. In exchange, I want the key. And remember that first phone call between Taesul and CEO Park? Taesan was already there. So that's how he knew that that wasn't Taesan. And then during that call, Taesan ran out, got caught by Sigma again. And then of course Sigma got angry. But then in the end, Agnes injected Taesan with the drug, and that's why we saw Taesan in the dream timeline. So if you think about it, he's kind of still alive. He's not dead. But, well, that's the thing. That's the conscience. The conscience could be alive, but his body could be dead. And what's also crazy is that CEO Park told Tae-sun to use the uploader and give him the key. So that's why we saw Tae-sun flying by the plane in, I think, episode 1 or 2. Makes so much sense now. So that's the truth that Agnes and CEO Park were trying to tell Tae-soo. Now let's get to the juicy part of this episode. Man, that flashback, that really gave us the identity of Sigma. And again, it is not Jason. Like, there were hints saying that, hey, it's Jason because of his hatred of Tae-soo, because he's jealous that Tae-soo likes Soe and Soe likes Tae-soo and blah blah blah, right? We all thought it was him. I even thought of that. But with that flashback, man, they didn't hold back. So when Soe and Tae-soo were analyzing the painting, Tae-soo said that, wait, I've seen this painting before. And it was not the exact painting that they were analyzing. It was the way it was drawn. He's seen it before. And it was during his childhood at school. So at school, they went to the school that Tae-soo went to. They met up with a teacher. A funny part that she wanted to take a picture with Tae-soo, which ended up having Soya to be a little bit jealous. But what we didn't know was that teacher, well, quotes, that teacher, she tied up and hid the real teacher in the filing closet cabinet, I guess. So she's working for the control barrel. It's almost like the control barrel knows where Tae-soo is going to go, which is crazy. So as the control barrel were getting info of where Tae-soo was at, Soe and Tae-soo were looking at, I guess like a yearbook type of thing. Well, it is like a yearbook of the kids that attended that school during the time where Tae-soo attended too. And they wind up looking at a kid named Wonju. So Wonju, man, the way, like, at first I felt bad for him because he was being bullied. But then after that, you see in a short period of time how crazy he got. So it was Wonju that drew the painting. So the flashback showed that he was being bullied by 3 boys. Tae-soo came in. He said, hey, mix water and sodium. Pop. Explosion scared the kids away. So in a way, he saved Wonju. Then Wonju, seeing how he lived, his life was crap because of his crappy dad beating on him. We saw like bruises, and yeah, I felt bad for the kid. Like at the beginning, it made you feel bad for him, but at the end, you realize, oh man, he's going to be the person that we are not gonna like, and that's crazy. So he does drawings to pretty much, like, the fact that Tae-soo helped him, he made drawings to support Tae-soo. You know, Tae-soo having a awesome company, creating some stuff like that. And Tae-soo even created, while in school, a blueprint of the uploader, which Wonju wanted to see. I mean, if he drew it, then he could have made it come true. Well, it comes true anyway. So, yeah, and then Wonju at school, he said, wait, everything I've drawn has come true. I can see the future. And then fast forward to Wonju asking Tae-soo about how to create an explosion. And I'm like, that is Sigma. When he asked him to, well, I mean, I didn't realize that was Sigma relating to the painting. But once he asked for the explosion, I was like, yep, that's Sigma. I should have realized that right after they saw the painting and the painting connected with the kid and Sigma. I should have known that at that point. But once the word explosion came up, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's Sigma. So he asked him how to do the explosion, and he does it towards his dad, since he hated his dad. And we see a scene of him, Wonju, approaching Tae-soo with this crazy personality. It's like, I did it. And then Tae-soo, like, he wanted him to report himself to the police. And then he pushed him away and said, get lost. I don't want to see you again. And then he laughed, and that sadistic kid, evil face, and he goes, I'm going to kill everyone. And at that point, solidify it. That is Sigma. If you didn't know it before, now you know it now. It is Sigma. And I'm like, yo. So again, it wasn't Jason. It was a different character that we didn't know yet. And I'm like, wow, that shocked me. And this drama has done a good job shocking us. Like, name one episode where the episode has not shocked you. Name one. Every episode has shocked you in one way or another. And man, this drama was so good. And then after that, we get to the present time and we see Sigma outside of the school calling for Taesul. And I'm like, oh man. Well, at first I forgot that Sigma is the boss of the control barrel. But man. So yeah, that's Taesul. I mean, that's Sigma. It was a childhood classmate who can see the future. So that's why Sigma can be wherever he wants to be. And that's why it feels like Sigma was always a step ahead of Taesul. Because he can see into the future. Whatever he can draw, he knows is going to happen. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, anyway, that was the gist of the episode. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. I want to know your guys' thoughts and reactions on how you guys found out that Sigma was that little kid. And obviously it wasn't Jason. But yeah, I want to know your guys' reaction to that because it really shocked me. But the number one thing that shocked me in this episode was seeing Taesul's bodyguard again. Yo. Again, I thought he was dead, but I'm glad he's not. And we see him into the future. Wow. I want to see more of the future. We did get some flash forward scenes here and there, but I want to see more. And I mean a lot more. Because I want to see characters, like the characters that we see in the present time, I want to see where they're at in the future. And I'm like, wow. Oh, yeah. Hold up. There's one more thing I want to talk about. So when Soe talked about seeing her own grave, yes, that was her and that was Taesul in that grave. Here's my theory. When Taesul and Soe got married and we saw him get married, that wasn't the Soe who was the little girl that grew up into marrying Taesul. That was the future Soe. The future Soe married Taesul. They both got killed in the present time. And then fast forward to the future, we see a grown-up future version of Soe seeing herself dead. So pretty much it's that time paradox. Wow. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. If you guys enjoy my review and my reaction to everything that I just talked about, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.